Speaker and colleagues, today we convene to pay tribute like the history of Uganda itself. He served in the colonial army as a young man, rose to become one of General Idi Amin's most trusted ministers, and later took up arms as a rebel leader before accepting amnesty and returning to national life. General Ali devoted over 5 decades of his life to public service. Throughout that long journey, he served Uganda in various capacities: as a soldier, a member of parliament, a cabinet minister in several portfolios, first deputy prime minister, second deputy prime minister, and deputy leader of government business. He remained a central figure in Uganda's public affairs for many years. The late Gen.Moses Ali belonged to a generation of leaders that witnessed and indeed participated in some of the most defining moments in Uganda's history. Through periods of political transition, conflict, reconstruction, and nation building. His longevity in public service also meant that he mentored and worked alongside several generations of leaders. Many members of this House today have differed with him politically, but they undoubtedly learned valuable lessons from his experience, his institutional memory, and understanding of the evolution of our nation. That wealth of experience deserves acknowledgement and respect. Public service is one of the things. It demands sacrifice, resilience, and commitment. The late Moses Ali answered that call for much of his life, and for that he deserves our respect and gratitude. He belonged to the NRM, and I belong to the National Unity Platform, NUP. But I respected him, even though we differed politically. I didn't even agree with the idea of him running for office again, yet he was unwell and needed to take a break. But I still give him his flowers for the service that he rendered this nation over the years. Right Honorable Speaker and colleagues, his passing, however, also invites us to reflect on an important national conversation. Death reminds all of us that beyond our different political parties, ideologies, and contests, we are all temporary custodians of public office. None of us is a permanent fixture in this world, and no position or status we hold is everlasting. So while we hold office, may we cause positive impact. May we be diligent leaders. Let us respect the rule of law and the people of Uganda whom we serve. As we mourn the late General Moses Ali, may this occasion renew our collective commitment to selfless leadership, accountable governance, and service above self. Let us strive to leave behind institutions that are stronger than we found them, and a country that is better because we had the privilege to serve. We welcome the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces who joined us earlier for this tribute session. I would like to urge him to prevail over the various security entities to observe the law and respect the law as they do their work. The 1995 Constitution is a brainchild of the NRM government. We need to respect that Constitution. General Moses Ali was a believer in the rule of law, and that's why he gave up armed rebellion and then served in our national army. Anyone, whether a leader or an ordinary citizen, can be suspected by the state to have committed any offense, but they ought to be apprehended as the law stipulates, detained in a gazetted detention facility, and produced in court within 48 hours. Lately, Right Honourable Speaker and colleagues, people are abducted, taken for days, weeks, and even months. Sometimes they are tortured, their family does not know their whereabouts, and they are not produced in court. This is not right, and we must collectively condemn it. On behalf of the opposition, I extend our deepest condolences to the family of the late Right Honorable Gen.Moses Ali, the people of Adjumani, the Muslim faith which he professed, the Nubian community which he loved dearly, his friends and colleagues, and all Ugandans who mourn his passing. May they find comfort in the years he dedicated to serving this our country. May God grant General Moses Ali eternal rest and comfort his family in this very trying time. For God and my country.
You are a very good man. Right Honorable Speaker and members of Parliament, I would like to sincerely extend my deepest condolences to the bereaved family of the late General Moses Ali. To you, Mr. Speaker, to His Excellency the President, to the Muslim community in Uganda and beyond, to the people of Adjumani, and indeed to all the people of Uganda. The Right Honorable Moses Ali was a nationalist who has served Uganda with dedication to the benefit of all the people of Uganda. His service to the country covered a wide range of spheres, including agriculture, politics, military, religion, education, sports, etc., in which he has left behind an indelible legacy. Mr. Speaker, the Right Honorable General Moses Ali was a commercial farmer who was a mentor and demonstrated to all the people of Uganda and the youth, especially, that the jobs and wealth are in commercial agriculture, in industry, services, and ICT. In his service as a politician, he mentored many, including myself. He was a freedom fighter, and he was such a humorous politician who you would not miss his message whenever he would communicate it. Mr. Speaker, in the military, he was such a disciplined officer, keeping time always. In cabinet, he would always be there before 9 to begin attending the Swahili Swahili lessons, beating many younger ministers in terms of timekeeping. A good message that is living with us today. My neighbor in cabinet, and I really enjoyed his company. He would always communicate any small guidance which he feels that cabinet should consume, and I would articulate it on his behalf. Occasionally, he would write some messages for me to articulate for His Excellency the President. And whenever he would like to withdraw from cabinet, he would always make sure that he has sought for authority. He would tell me that, please tell the President that I would now like to withdraw. It is time, it is 2 o'clock. There was a time when his doctors had advised him to always withdraw from cabinet at 2 o'clock. But he would not walk out without permission. And while walking out, he would always make sure that he greets His Excellency the President with a very sharp salute, even at his stage of his illness. So he was a very disciplined officer who knew what serving in the army meant, and indeed he was living like a military officer. Remember when we used to go to Chankwanzi, when he was still physically fit, we used to call him our bouncing officer. He would walk with a lot of haste, and you would enjoy the way he would be taking and carrying himself. Mr. Speaker, we all know that he loved the Muslim religion so much, but that did not stop him from being very close to other members of different religions. And he would always be a bridge between the teams in case there was an issue. I know that he comes from West Nile, a long history of service to the country, but he knew how to immerse himself in a situation and come out with the team in the situation that he finds himself in. We in Cabinet will miss him. In education, Mr. Speaker, he was among the founders of West Nile University, a private university who I would like to encourage all members of this House to continue supporting up to the logical conclusion, because it is still in its initial stages. But he also supported university education, going to school at that age he went to get the bachelor's degree in law, and he also got a PhD honorary in IU.
Habari za asubuhi.
Sawa.
Hujambo. Honorable Speaker, let me begin by thanking the interim government for the constitutional making process, because it enabled Uganda to correct certain very, very historical injustices. And one of them was the tribes that had been swallowed up by the bigger ones were able to get listed in the Constitution and be recognized. And among those were the Nubi. Now, Speaker, General Ali, you have been told about the book he wrote, and I would recommend Mr. Ssenyonyi Ali, I think should try and make the books available to the members. It's very, very important reading, so that people understand the history of this country and how people have been living. Somewhere in his book, he says the following: the feeling of having no power over one's history, no right to describe oneself, no capacity to determine one's destiny, no influence over what is written, no capacity to self-define, and the presence of general misery and hopelessness. This was the situation the Nubi people found themselves in, and Honorable General Ali did research over a long time, extensively by the way, and documented the history right from the, I think the 18th century, tracing all the Nubis, the Egyptian Nubi, the Acholi Nubi, the Langi Nubi, and all those until they came to Uganda. What must have been, men who must got courage and whose migration and settlement was externally driven. They were just brought here through circumstances. They found themselves here, and then they did not have a proper belonging. That's why I say that the constitution-making process was very important for the history of this country and for many of the tribes that had been marginalized. Honorable Ali was a calm person. I remember a number of occasions when we had very heated debates on Apa, on Zoka Forest. He remained calm despite the pressures. Those are very, very heated debates in this house. Actually, sometimes I thought this man, after that, he'll follow us. But he left, we would leave the chamber, go back, come back tomorrow, and then we'll do our work. So I really want to thank him for his calmness. You have been told about his military exploits, but I really wanted to concentrate on his struggle for identity and his struggle for the people of West Nile, and especially the Nubi people. When I was Speaker, when we were growing up, after the Amin War, all people of West Nile were called Amin's people. So it meant that they were marginalized, politically, socially, economically, and so on. I remember a lot of them lost their property. It has never been returned. I have a family that is still checking on me. They still come to me to find out, is it possible to unfreeze our accounts? Is it possible to get back our buses? And I write the Ministry of Finance, nobody answers. I think nobody does. We have done a lot to restore what the Indians lost. These people also lost. You have been told that I was shown my children born in Sudan. All of this belonged somewhere. Their parents lost property. They came back to nothing. They've never recovered. So I think this time we did something for this community. So I want to really thank General Ali. By the way, he taught us, whatever time I reached cabinet, he was always there. He was always there, never late. And as the VP has said, he would leave at a certain time, but leave with decorum. So I think he really teaches us discipline and punctuality. I really want to thank you for his contribution to Uganda, and I really pray that the wrongs against the people of Nile should be corrected. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you.